Welcome back to another episode of Deltarune. I hope you enjoy. In the last episode, we destroyed the arcade machine, and now we can move on. Here, we can see the first evidence of the rebel team. We can talk to the hacker, and the hacker will tell us to gather 3 blue check marks. I then start a fight with a Vivo can. This allows me to spare it and get some more recruits. After that, I complete a puzzle where I must spell out agree to all. However, it turns out it is in fact a trick to force me to accept the terms and conditions. But Queen gains nothing from this. I then fight another Vivo can. I do the act Take Care X, which allows me to spare all of them. Once I have spared them, I have gotten every single recruit for Vivo can. Completing the puzzle early removes the force field, allowing me to go even further. And now I must ride some screws up to the top. Whilst riding the screws, I must collect the purple orbs to let me go higher. Then I must complete another word puzzle. This word puzzle is in fact a reference to the game Undertale, which is also made by Toby Fox. As in Undertale, you are given a crossword with this in it. Upon completion, the puzzle even shows I see who is in the crossword. Here is the crossword from Undertale. I also received my first blue check mark. Here I realised that I had missed the first blue check mark. On my way there, I fight 2 tasks. I spare them by getting Susie to roar and then pacifying them with Rouse. After sparing them, I get some more recruits. After the battle, I go and get the first blue check mark that I was supposed to get at the start. I, however, forgot about it, so it is instead my second blue check mark. I am now able to progress again and go and get my final blue check mark. Here is another difficult challenge of collecting all purple orbs. I fail, so I must try again. I finally get to the top and open a chest containing another blue check mark. Now I can finally continue up the final screw. I succeed on my first try and I am allowed to progress. Here, one of the rebels attacks us and tries to kill us. However, I am able to move forward and get onto the boss fight. The rebel, whose name is Sweet, crashes into a wall. This starts a confrontation with them. They tell us their group name is Sweet Cap'n Cakes, and that they are a resistance against Queen. According to Sweet, Cap caught them kidnapping Noelle. This means that they see us as evil. Soon, they call their third member, KK, over. The entire group is music themed, and KK shows this with a dance. Soon, they initiate a battle with us. In this battle, we must dance and get them to join in. They have attacks themed around speakers and music. Once everyone is dancing, the battle is over. However, the enemies are quick to stop dancing. We must somehow get them all to dance at the same time, but it seems impossible. At the end of every turn, someone stops dancing. This carries on until Susie comes up with a better idea. Susie realizes that if she can dance by herself, then they will be able to get everyone to dance all at once. Susie even makes Rouse join in. This allows us to get them all to dance. Soon, everyone is dancing, and the battle is won. It kicks off a whole dance party. We have now beaten Sweet Cap'n Cakes. They struggle to believe that they have lost. In fact, they believe that they have beaten us. They are under the impression that they turned us to the good side. And then they leave on their flying device. We then jump down the cliff and head down and back to the start. We go on a conveyor belt where we can see some fireworks. We then hurry to the hacker to show the hacker the 3 blue check marks we got. They create fireworks and allow the hacker to show up in different places, like Queen's Mansion. We carry on and dodge some enemies to allow us to cross. We then double back to get ourselves a chest. After that, we complete a puzzle of the Virocan. We must dodge their arrows to allow us to activate some things. We must also make sure that they don't hit the bombs, and eventually we get a key which lets us move forward. We go up these screws again, and once again we are gathering the purple orbs to move up faster. Once we get to the top, we are able to go inside a strange building. Inside the building, Susie, Valse and Chris find some carts. They allow them to go on the roller coaster to reach the fountain. Soon enough, they meet Queen, who appears floating above in her chair. But soon, she reveals her true plan. She reveals that she has turned Noel into a peon. However, Noel is unwilling to fight. This lack of action makes Queen bring in a new peon. This peon is Birdly. Birdly appears to be largely disliked, as both Susie and Queen show disinterest in him. Birdly reveals his plans to change the world and make it so that geniuses rule it. He reveals that Queen has asked them to use their power, the Lightner's power, to create dark fountains. Queen has manipulated Birdly into following her orders. Because of this, he initiates a fight with us. In this fight, we must ram our roller coasters into Birdly's. Birdly has quite varied attacks as he uses both tornadoes and papers. We need to keep ramming him until eventually his roller coaster will fall off the track. This fight is fairly simple compared to his other fights. But it can still be fairly hard to dodge his attacks. One thing I hadn't truly appreciated about this scene was the fact that you can see the fountain in the distance. Upon noticing it, it made the fight seem a lot better. It makes the objective clear, whilst not being too obnoxious. And with that, we are done. Queen ignores his calls for help as he plummets down. Almost as quick as Birdly's fall, Queen reveals to us that the roller coaster is unfinished. This leads to the fun gang falling off. They land much lower inside the trash zone. This is an area filled with rubbish and unused data. Susie boasts about being at the top of the rubbish pile before falling and hurting herself. Rousey shows concern before demonstrating his healing magic. Susie shows that she is curious and wants to learn how to perform healing magic. However, she quickly shuts down the idea of learning it for fear of embarrassment. But she says she would learn it if she had the time. After that scene, we carry on. Here we can talk to Trashy and Newbert. Everybody loves Newbert. Then Rousey tells us about storage. Soon after, the fun gang reach a fork in the road. It seems like we'll be able to choose who we go with. Instead, Susie just goes with Rousey and we have no choice. Some squeaky cones appear when they go up. Upon entering the next room, we're greeted by music and a billboard saying "Welcome to the city." After saving, I am shown a new mechanic. Roads I must cross without being hit by cars. We must make use of stop signs to slow the cars and allow us to pass through. Next, we're greeted by swatchlings telling us about something big that is going to happen in the streets later. I see Noelle, but am quickly engaged in combat. To spare the pop-ups, I must click on them. Once there are 3 pop-ups, clicking on them ends the battle immediately. After that, I'm able to carry on. In the next room, I find Noelle. She briefly talks to us before Queen comes. Noelle hides as Queen appears to be looking for her. She believes that we must form a truce to help find our teams. Upon saying that, Birdie arrives, causing Queen to hide in the alleyway above Noelle. Like Queen, Birdie appears to be searching for the rest of his team. Birdie tries to hide the fact that his team abandoned him, as he is embarrassed. He also believes that they must form a truce to find their teammates. After saying this, Birdie is distracted by the noises of the city. Queen asks us to keep distracting Birdie and help her find Noelle. This is because Queen finds Birdie really annoying, and rightfully so. After Queen heads off, Noelle is able to leave the alleyway. Noelle then joins our party. Noelle asks us where Susie is. Immediately, we come across an annoying mouse puzzle, which I solve immediately because it's annoying. In these puzzles, a mouse shoots out and we need to guide it into the in-hole. Upon leaving the room, we fight a Virocun. To spare it, we simply do the act Take Care and spare it with Noelle. Next, we go into a room with a chest containing a pink ribbon. Then, we are introduced to the enemy ambulance. With these, we use the act Hospitality. This allows us to easily spare them. Next, we go and talk to the Addison. They tell us that they can advertise things. Afterwards, if we go up, we get to see Susie and Rouse eating candy floss. Noelle comments on this, but is too scared to call out to them. After that, we go down and fight ambulance again. We spare them exactly the same way. Upon sparing them, we have gotten all of the recruits for ambulance. Next, we see some more traffic puzzles with cars. This one is quite difficult as it has lots of cars of different speeds, including a really fast yellow car line. We can then talk to some more characters. In this room, we can go up and we can talk to a person. After this encounter, we can go back down and we can talk to the Addison. Here, we can tell the Addison that Noelle and I are friends. Next, we get into a fight with the Virocun and the ambulance. We must spare them both differently. First, we spare ambulance by using hospitality and then sparing it. Then we spare Virocun by using Take Care and then sparing it as well. Then we go down where we are confronted with an electric laser puzzle. I keep going off the switch just because I feel like it. Eventually, I hit her with the laser and she has to jump out of the way. Then, when we attempt to go across, she does the same thing to us. Despite us doing it to Noelle, Chris seems very upset that Noelle did it to us. Upon entering the next room, we see some boxes. Queen then comes, forcing Noelle to highs. She seems quite drunk from drinking the glass full of battery acid. She seems to have taken a liking to Chris because Chris does not talk back. She throws her extra dangerous glass. It explodes. She then calls for another arcade machine to be called. Right before they get to play it, the arcade machine is destroyed by a giant ugly bird statue. Bertie made it and has been following Queen to try and show it. Queen, like everyone, is incredibly confused. Queen clearly hates Bertie. And who doesn't? She then runs off the other direction without Bertie noticing. We can then see Noelle's new disguise. Whilst wearing it, she is completely unable to see and is vulnerable to tripping over. We leave the awful statue behind and head into the next room. Here, we can see the rebels doing a song. Thank you for watching another episode of Deltarune. If you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe and watch more Yellow Mellow videos.